Hi, in this video for the Blender Beginner's Guide, I'm going to show you how to set the view to different perspectives and also how to switch the view from perspective to orthographic and of course the difference between them. Let's start by pressing 1 on the numpad, and with this key we set the view to front perspective. You can see that indicated on the top left corner over here. If you hold down the Control key or Command key for Mac users, you will switch to back perspective. Pressing 7 on the numpad will give you top perspective. Holding down the Control key or Command key and pressing 7 on the numpad will switch to bottom perspective. Pressing 3 on the numpad will give you right perspective, and if you hold down the Control key or Command key for the Mac users and again pressing 3 key, you'll switch to left perspective. Next, let's hit the Delete key again on the numpad to view selected, a keyboard shortcut that I showed you in previous tutorials. Now next, let's hit the Z key, and this will display the object as a wireframe. You can also do that from over here, and you see that we have different viewport shadings: texture, solid, wireframe or bounding box, and pressing the Z key switches between solid and wireframe. Next, I want you to press 5 key on the numpad, and this will switch the current view from perspective to orthographic. Now I'm going to press 5 key on the numpad one more time to go back to perspective view, and I'm going to read you perspective definition. A perspective view is geometrically constructed this way. You have a scene in 3D and you are an observer placed at a point O. The 2D perspective scene is built by placing a plane, a sheet of paper, where the 2D scene is to be drawn in front of point O, perpendicular to the viewing direction. For each point P in the 3D scene, a PO line is drawn passing by O and P. The intersection point S between the PO line and the plane is the perspective projection of that point. By projecting all points P of the scene, you get a perspective view. Now let's press 5 again on the numpad to switch from perspective to orthographic view, and I'm going to read you the orthographic definition. In an orthographic projection, you have a viewing direction but not a viewing point O. The line is then drawn through point P so that it is parallel to the viewing direction. The intersection S between the line and the plane is the orthographic projection of the point P. And by projecting all points P of the scene, you get the orthographic view. Now don't worry if you didn't understand much of what I just read. What's important is to remember the keyboard shortcuts that I showed you in this tutorial, because they are essential for the creative process. You can also find them in the view menu over here. You see top, bottom, front, back, right, left, and also switching between user perspective and orthographic view. Make sure you remember them. In the next tutorial, I'm going to give an example why the orthographic view is so important when it comes to making selections and modeling. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope that it was useful. If it was, subscribe, like the video. That's it for now. Bye.